What's up, everybody? My name is B78, aka Brand. This is episode 133 of the NBA Dojo. I'm alongside Chris this evening. Chris, how you doing?
Doing all right, buddy. How's it hanging?
Doing well, can't complain. We're about in that last little period of the holiday season. We're about 2 weeks till Christmas. So we're slowly winding down the fall anime season and getting into the winter pretty soon. So we'll have all these shows kind of wrapping up across the board. We have a couple things to talk about. We have the charts for the anime corner for week 9 and the Reddit chart as well. We have a big development with what's going on with Netflix and how the whole Netflix buying Warner Brothers and all that stuff's going to happen. Plus a new person to enter the fight for this as well. And we're also talking about something that kind of was caught my eye. I did put this in chat, I think, but I don't remember if I did or not. Um, Crunchyroll and High Dive teaming up together to quell piracy. Is the best way I can put it. Or it's like an alliance to quell piracy. We'll talk about that as well. So we have a lot of things to get into. Yeah, you're laughing kind of tells when I saw this where I was like, wait, what? We have a lot of things to get into, but also we're gonna watch 2 episodes of My Hero 165 and 166. So look forward to that. Let's start off with this first one. Like I said, Crunchyroll and High Dive come together to quell piracy. I don't. Uh, this was a weird story because I don't know what this was gonna. Okay, here it is. Anime streaming site High Dive and Crunchyroll join a special streaming advocacy group beyond the mainstream, a global streaming alliance. Um, Last month, 15 specialty streaming services, including anime service HiDive and Crunchyroll, announced formation of a special streaming advocacy collective beyond mainstream, a global streaming alliance um, per release media. Beyond mainstream aims to provide unique collaborative voice for specialized services in streaming industry. The coalition will work to ensure more equilibrium regular environments where members have strong collaborative voices in global relations and policy debates. That sounds like to me, and Chris, tell me if I'm wrong. That sounds like to me you're trying to fight what's going on in Japan right now.
but it may be what they're trying to fight in Japan, but it's also the same thing that's been going on globally. Like you
Yes.
realize, like all the piracy sites that we use or have been using on in the states are also disappearing. And all it
Yes.
really is just a money grabbing opportunity. Like they know that anime has become this global entertainment engine. So now it's starting. It's time to start closing gaps on where they can, start getting more money. This is them squeezing it. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want piracy sites that are hindering you from getting the money that you want? Because I mean, there are plenty of people that are use these sites to watch free anime. And, I mean, come on. So you can't necessarily be too mad at them. But
Yeah.
well, you can be mad at them until they make prices unreasonable.
Yes. The weird thing with this whole interesting story, they said specialty sites. So I don't really understand if they're saying mostly if they're saying specialty sites, are they saying like other sites like Crunchyroll and HiDive that do specialize just in certain shows or entertainment, or are we talking about something totally different? That was the weird thing about it. I'm like, okay, but you're also talking about policy. So they said policy and uh, global. What was the other thing they said? Because it sounded really weird when they said it. And global regulatory and policy debates.
Hmm
So
That's the money. That's them keeping money in their pocket. That's the control part.
yeah,
I
like
mean, like
I.
realistically, Brandon, if you had a business, if you had a lumber business, right?
Mhm.
Now, and you were the only person selling pine wood. Now, would you let another person that's selling knockoff pine, even though it's still pine, it's just not the pine that you grow in your forest? Would you let them continue to sell pine?
No, absolutely not.
Well, then, my friend, yeah, that's the same mindset these businesses have.
Okay, but it's like saying like Crunchyroll and High Dive do the same thing, but ultimately
Hmm.
there's no other versions of them outside of like Disney, Netflix, a lot of your major players, and there's also like you say the other pirate side and stuff. So, but like the pirate side's been going down in America so fast, like they haven't been taken down so fast, it's not been an issue. But it's the other side of that coin. Like, do you expect? Do I expect them to go? Hey, we needed to get this out of here quickly. Like, I don't know. Uh, but I also think too, you're going to that route where like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're going to that route of, oh, we're gonna try to keep anime pure, as I'll say, is that the best word for it. In the sense that there's not going to be any copycats. There's not going to be any other people trying to do it. It's just going to be, these couple companies, and we're going to try to keep it within the rules of what anime should be, which is fair, but also sounds kind of weird.
I mean, it may be weird, but this is the world we living in, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, like, who's gonna stop anybody? See, this is the thing. We have. Well, okay. Let me slow myself down because people are sensitive. But the world has programmed people into thinking that it is okay not to just to gain money without any reason to.
Mm,
Like, I mean, like, what is like you get more money, but for what reason? Half of the people that make money, okay, usually the people that don't have money don't have it because they don't know how to make more money. The people who have a lot of money typically make money by having money. So
yeah,
do you see where the problem is? You people that are literate as far as saving and handling money, and people who just want to live their day to day lives, like who doesn't like it's sad, but people have made a career out of getting money, and they make so much that sometimes they really don't know what to do with it. Like I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but sometimes I've seen investors with these impressive portfolios, and I'd be like, "That's great, but you have like, what are you going to do?
yeah.
Like, you have
I,
all this money, you have all this power, and what are you going to do with it? Absolutely nothing."
it also is, it's also interesting. Uh, it's also interesting because if this is a change for good, cool. But also, if this is just, is this also a way, like you say, and let's see, I'm going to put it to another point, another way. If this is also a way to get rid of bad apples, then I see the point. I see the point. Like balancing out the bad apples with keeping the good and actually great people trying to do the right thing in these industry in these like specialty fields. Perfectly fine. Makes sense. I think what shocks people the most, and I think the thing that made people kind of go, "Wait, huh?" It's the fact that you go, "Oh, High Dive and Crunchyroll are teaming along this alliance group."
Yep,
You,
because it's
uh,
money.
you you would never hear High Dive and Crunchyroll in the same sense working together.
You would if it brings them both the same amount of money.
Correct. Yeah, It was an interesting story. I didn't want to do a full topic on it because I was like, it was a smaller thing. It was a smaller thing, but I was like, okay, this seems kind of interesting. I don't really think there's gonna be a lot coming from it. I don't think we're gonna hear about this alliance as much as you would think. It might just be something in the background where kind of things keep regulated, keep things interesting, keep things working in the background fairly. We might hear a few rumblings here and there, but nothing crazy. I just hope if we're gonna have those rumblings, that it has there's a reason for it, and there's a reason to have the rumblings of like, okay, here's what we're trying to do to make beyond the mainstream. Here's what we're trying to do for anime. Here's what we're trying to do for this, that, and the other. The other, like I said, they don't explain the other 15 groups in here because there's not really a point to if you're just doing it for anime purposes. This is anime coverage, anime sites covering it. But if this is a good thing over in the long run, cool. If this kind of becomes a not really a good or bad thing, but just kind of a thing, fine. Doesn't really hurt anybody. But hey, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, you're doing it anyway. Cool. Um, let us know what you think in the comments about this one because that's an interesting one. I wonder if that's going to mean that there'll be more collaborative effort to do better anime distribution and streaming stuff in the future. That could be what that also can tell. But also the fact that I think Crunchyroll already had a little small L so far this winter season, or fall season, surprisingly, was how Spy the Family last episode went out. So there could be things there where they can help each other out that way as well. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get into the bigger thing we need to talk about. Netflix putting their bid for Warner Brothers. They offered Netflix offered Warner Brothers $82.7, I think it's $billion, which is a lot to think about if you think about that. And then Paramount comes back and says we're going to offer almost $108 billion for Paramount. And we'll stay with the Netflix side for now. That's the one that's more interesting with this story. So I'll ask it this way, Chris. People are worried that Netflix is going to just, if they do get the studios, they're going to take a lot of their movies and just put them on Netflix. Also, they would, so this is the one I think is more crazy. I don't think it's likely to happen. They would dissolve HBO Max into Netflix. Same way Crunchyroll dissolved Funimation into Crunchyroll. But then I'm gonna give you all the context first, then we'll get to talk about it. Other part of the context is Netflix CEO pretty much said that they are committed to putting stuff in theaters, but he also said in another interview prior to that he thinks that movie theater going experience has kind of died off. Either way this goes for Netflix purposes, do you think that Netflix has a uphill battle to climb if they do get the bid? And is that uphill battle of what do we do with the content?
You ready for me to answer these questions?
Go ahead.
Okay, bro. So when we look into what Netflix could do with this catalog, like, look, Netflix doesn't really own a catalog of movies other than everything that they have produced themselves. And a lot of the stuff that they have produced have been in partnerships with other people. So do they? I'm not sure if they completely own a lot of the stuff that they do. So can you imagine what Netflix could do if they did that, bruh? Like they could leverage the stock of Warner Brother movie, TV shows, and all of these things with other entities that, or to get to boost their own. like they would low key put Prime out of business. Like Prime Video. Like think
Mm,
about it, bro. Because Prime Video, that's exactly what they do. They have the only difference is that you can buy movies on there. So I
yes. Yep.
mean, and then one of the things that you have to remember is that, like you said before, HBO Max and HBO are a part of are a part of Warner Brothers, right? Now,
Mm,
isn't it odd that just a few months ago that they changed last about this time last year they changed from HBO to HBO Max. You
yep.
remember or HBO Max and then changed it back.
Yep.
And now we hear about a bid. See, something else is going on too that's not being said. You see what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of signs out there, and then me and you had talked about this before. Disney has not put in a bid either. Now it confuses me to no end that the fact that they had a partnership with Disney and Hulu, all of a sudden they have no partnership and you're selling. Like, bro, what is really going on over there?
Uh,
See, there are a lot of things that are not being said right now. This is what I need for the general public to wake the heck up. Like things are happening in front of your eyes, and oh my god, like they're happening quickly. Like
let
the
me
world is. Woo.
let me put this out there for you because you brought it up and I thought this funny. So in Toot Haven on Twitter, and I think a source it was quarter it was he sourced the Bloomberg article for this. Netflix reportedly considered buying Electronic Arts, 20th Century Fox, and the Walt Disney Company in the past before buying Warner Brothers. Let me repeat that for you. They've thought about buying Electronic Arts, they've thought about buying 20th Century Fox, and they've also thought about buying the Walt Disney Company.
It's
So
almost ludicrous, bro.
that tells me that they really had they were trying to get content in the first place. Because ultimately, and I'll just give you one of these. If you bought the Walt Disney Company right now, if they could buy the Walt Disney Company right now, they would get all the Walt Disney stuff, plus they would get all of the 21st Century Fox stuff because Disney already owns it. They bought the 21st Century Fox, except for I think they didn't buy the news side of Fox. That's not, they don't have that side of it, but they have everything else. Um, it it boggles my mind then to see this because I'm like, so did Netflix have the cash, but they were not telling people they had the cash, the money? And if they're not telling people they had this money, you're also telling me you would probably spend more money trying to buy the other three companies I'm listed there than you are on Warner Brothers. That's that's scary. But also, and I get what people are saying, and I've heard this a lot the past couple of days. Oh, that means if Netflix wins, they're gonna just they're gonna put everything HBO Max on Netflix and raise the price of Netflix.
Yeah, because again, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, like this is the crime I think right now, Brandon, in America, and I'm just putting this out there because I feel like it needs to be said. D- d- Would you like to get a raise every year at work?
Oh yeah.
Now, I'm sure your coworkers would agree with you all the same, right?
Yeah.
So, if everybody in the company wants to have a raise next year, well, that means they have to get more money from somewhere.
Fair.
So, when you look at who's being greedy, everybody is. Now,
Oh,
at some point. after you, I don't know how much money that you need, but at some point there should be a cap because I mean, what can you can only do so much money. You can only do so much with so much
Yeah.
money
Yeah. I,
before before you die waiting on it.
like it. It's funny to bring this up because I think the interesting thing about it, and we're talking about this because I think the I think the bigger issue with all this is the content. The content's the bigger issue. I think people are like, what's gonna happen? Like, think about the fact they put K-pop Demon Hunter in theaters for like a month, like less than a month, but then it went straight to Netflix streaming, and now it's up for an Academy Award. People are like, what is gonna happen if they put a couple movies only for theaters for like less than a month and then go straight to Netflix? Well, that's what they want to do. Cool. Does not matter. Like, ultimately, you don't have to gain or lose. You don't gain or lose anything with this, and ultimately, people aren't gonna do. They have to
Well,
go
hold
buy
up
it.
though. There is a possible gain. If Netflix does it right, they could revitalize the entire movie industry.
That's the upside. That is the upside.
Because I mean, as many shows and movies as they produce, bro, what if you could go to the movies, watch a first full hour and a half movie that is immediately streaming right into the series that's on Netflix? Would you not go to the movie and then go straight home to watch the rest of it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh absolutely yeah. Like
Especially if it's good? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the other issue with this, and it's funny because we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I know people are talking about doom and gloom. This could all go bad quickly. We don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can change within the next day or two, the next couple of weeks.
Man,
And
the way the
that's the
world
weird
is.
thing. Yeah. Like that's the other problem. Like you don't know what Netflix gonna if Netflix do win, what they're gonna do with it all. And it still has to be. And the other big thing about it, and the, the other big thing about it, they said was it has to go to American regulators and what I forgot about this because it's a global company, EU regulators. So the EU also has to approve it. So if one approve it, the other don't, it's not going to happen. So we also have that to contend with.
Mm.
I'll, I'll leave us with this, and it's gonna I'll leave with this, and I'll kind of get your take on it after I read them. Leaving out the DCEU as what they have in their catalog. I'll leave that out.
Because that's a
That's a whole other
whole
can of
nother.
worms. Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. Friends, Oceans, Evil Dead, Mad Max, The Matrix, Beetlejuice, Adult Swim, Tom and Jerry, The Jeffersons, Harry Potter, Citizen Kane, The Scooby Doo, Rick and Morty. I forgot Rick and Morty is partially under Warner Brothers. Johnny Bravo. A lot of this is Cartoon Network stuff, by the way. The
Hmm.
Sopranos, Robot Chicken, Mortal Kombat, which would be the game side of the stuff, what you talked about. That's going to be all game side. Um, the Flintstones. We have Adventure Time, Sex and the City, Final Destination, Game of Thrones, Clockwork Orange, The Big Bang Theory, Minecraft films, right? Because they would have I think they did help make the Minecraft movies. Um, Turner Classic Movies, The Wizard of Oz, the original, Dune 3, only the distribution rights, The Lord of the Rings, the film rights, every TT game made by Lego Games, MonsterVerse, only distribution rights, and Warner Brother Games, including TT Games, NetherRealm, and Rocksteady.
And don't forget Harry Potter.
Yeah. So here's the big ones: Harry Potter. You get all of Cartoon Network. Rick and Morty's pretty big. I'll put that one in there. you're getting most of the Final Destination franchise. You're dealing with Lord of the Rings. You're getting some big IP. That's the big thing. I will. I'm gonna put DCU to the side because that's a whole other, like you said, another can of worms. Out of the stuff they're getting, most of that stuff is older, for the most part. Except like
But
Mortal
the new
Kombat's pretty
stuff,
new.
yeah, I
Yes,
was about
Mortal
to
Kombat.
say,
Mortal,
like, me and you spoke on this a little bit earlier, and I'm gonna bring it back up. This makes it an entirely different issue because they have movies and TV shows coming out. Like we are
yeah,
getting ready for the release of Mortal Kombat 2
the movie.
with After Her Brain. Like I am looking forward to this movie because he's playing Johnny Cage. I don't care if he doesn't look like the model Johnny Cage y'all are used to. The actor, I approve. Like he is the best actor for the role right now besides maybe Ryan Reynolds. But Ryan Reynolds is probably cost too much for the movie anyway. And then, and then we get to freaking Harry Potter. This is already a huge 6 movie series that they are turning into a whole TV show. Bro, can
And
you realize? No, Brent, do you realize if they get that, if Netflix got that, they would have One Piece, Avatar, and Harry Potter?
under one banner. Yeah. I
Come
was gonna
on
ask
now.
this. I was gonna ask this question. Does that include Monsters and Beast as well?
I don't see why it
I,
wouldn't.
I figured it would, but I'm asking that because they did say Harry Potter, so doesn't I figured all 6 movies that include Monsters and Beasts,
Yes,
and then
yes, it does. It does include those.
those. Okay, so it would include everything. Yeah, that's a big franchise on top of One Piece, and the fact you're gonna have.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, I think the thing that people be worried about. Let's say they do make another Harry Potter movie. Uh, like if they like let's say if they do make another Harry Potter movie, would it stay in theaters for a month or more? In most cases, yes. Why would you take Harry Potter out of theaters? It would make money. Like, like there's, and then can it go to Netflix after? Absolutely. The
Hmm.
thing is, I think people are like, no, they would just keep it in theaters for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then it'll go straight to streaming. No, if it's a big enough series, it will stay in. It will stay in theaters long enough to make some decent money off it.
But you know, again, if done right, bro, you could make going to the movie such a premium thing. Like honestly, for me, what if you were able to go to a movie, watch it on a giant crystal clear TV, right? And then I don't you have your choice of wearing either headphones or listening to it live with 4D motion seats. If
Yeah,
every movie that came to the theater was like that, now
no,
you've revamped the entire movie genres. Like going to the theaters means something entirely different now. See, like there are so many ways that the world could be improved, but I
yeah.
mean, but we get so greedy on how much money we need to change things. You really don't need money for anything. You just need people with a passion to make the passion to the people that have the passion to do the work.
I, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna before we end off this conversation. I'm gonna ask this one question, and then we're gonna go on to charts because we were mainly talking about it just in general, but this is a big thing. If this deal does go through for Netflix, and with the IP I just some of the bigger IP they mentioned, what does that mean for anime or live action stuff they could do? What is that some of that what is some of that stuff you could see them doing that would actually be good for the anime side or even good for the live action side and actually be worth their time?
And Netflix could and probably would either have their own anime studio or sponsor more anime studios altogether to push out either their own shows or to even compete with Crunchyroll. Think about it, because remember I've said this before. Crunchyroll has bought shows from Netflix.
Yes, they have. Yeah. I it it boggles my mind to think about they have bought shows from Netflix, and yet Netflix is the one got to gain something. And I will say, Dana's not here. He's probably doing something, but he did mention our chat when this all went down. And do I have that chat? Because I do have that chat. Oh yeah. He goes, and who did I say was gonna be competing in the next 5 years for the number one spot? Netflix. And he's probably not wrong. He's probably not wrong at this point. If they get this merger, if they get this deal to go through, that number one spot control held for the longest time, it's slowly gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
Because Netflix can build up a system, build up studios, get things going, and see where things end up. I can't I can't say it's gonna be good or bad. I can I can have to see it first to see what happens, but ultimately,
You
hey,
know what I can say? You know what I can say?
what?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that Netflix got to try to figure out. Um, let's get in these charts because these charts are kind of interesting. Let me know what y'all think about the Netflix stuff across the board. I don't like they said. I think it's gonna be about 10 days before we get official like who got what, but this will be kind of like end this will end like what's gonna happen for now, which I'm not surprised by. Uh, so the anime corner for week 9, November 28th to December 5th. Gachikita went up 4 spots to 1. My Hero dropped a spot to 2. Uh, May I ask for one final thing? Went stayed at 3. Spy the Family stayed at 4. One Punch Man season 3 went up 6 spots to 5. Okay. Uh, Wind Dance went down 4 spots to 6.
What even is that show?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it. My status as
Mm.
the assassin obviously exceeds the heroes. Went up 3 spots to 7. My annoying, no, my awkward, excuse me, senpai went down a spot. Dust Beyond the End of the World went up 9 spots to 10. And Rama One Half season 2 is at 10. Went up 3 spots to 10, and then Dust Beyond the End of the World went up 9 spots to 9. Excuse me, get that backwards. Chris, what do you think about this chart?
Bro, I just said I need to catch up with Gotcha Keitha. And we know it's good. I'm not surprised that it took the number one on this chart, especially since My Hero is like winding down. It's, now, may I ask one final thing, bro? They're not going to change. They are running on. Like, if you're not watching that show, you would be pleasantly surprised. Like, I
It
have
it is
no
very
qualms.
it's very good. It's very very
Mm.
good.
Now, Spy and Family, yeah, I feel like I need to wait till it's finished to catch up with that. Period. One Punch Man, I have not started One Punch Man because the reasons that the show, but somebody told me the graphics did get better at the end, so it's like I need to catch up. Still don't know what the freak one dance is. My status as an assassin, we know that's decently good. My awkward senpai, I don't even know what that is. Just Before the End of the World is one of the ones that I need and want to go back and watch from beginning to end. And surprised to see Rama One Half is a classic, but hey, it's top 10, so yeah.
Yeah. Um, I will say out of this list, there's nothing really crazy, but I will say if I look at the rest of, I'll do 15 to 20 real quick. Or yeah, so 11, 20. The Monster Wants to Meet Me is at 11. To Be Eternal, To Your Eternal season 3 is at 12. My Friend's Little Sister Has Infamy is at 13. Campfire Cooking is at 14. Ordinary Days is at 15. Let the Screaming Soul Retire is at 16. Cinderella Gray is at 17. A Wild Last Boss appears at 18. Uh, 3Z Gavin Cinna is at 19, and Tales of Wedding Ring season 2 is at 20. So yeah, things are holding up here. Seems like it's not too crazy. Um, I Chris, go through the other chart for me. Let's see what this other chart's doing. Like this is
All right, so here is my Reddit discussion chart. At number one, we have My Hero Final Season, Episode 9. 2, Spy and Family. 3, Gotcha Kita. 4, One Punch Man. 5, This Monster Wants to Eat Me. 6, Uma Masame, Cinderella Gray. 7, A Wild Last Boss Has Appeared. 8, Gnosia. What does that stand for again? Did we say that last time?
Gunson. Yeah.
Uh, okay, maybe after that is Let This Grieving Soul Retire. 10, may I ask one final thing? Bro, this is the first time we've seen a major shift in both of these charts where they do not look the same, but they still do look similar though.
Guess they do. And it's interesting. Your top three: My Hero, Spy, uh, Gachikita. Fair. The only thing
Hmm.
that flip flops here is the fact that uh, may I ask for one final thing's at 10. I think that's because a lot of people are going to try to they're binge watching that. Basically, they're watching it multiple episodes to get caught up with the story, which you can do. And I think for that, it's not a bad thing if you do because it at least gives you the story that you need to know. Um,
Correct.
Other than that, everything else in here is like Grievous will retire, getting a 9 spot. That's also people probably catching up to the point where it's at now. Um, One Punch Man doing better. The Monster Wants Me is probably just the same way. Like people are trying to catch up on it. It's probably gotten really good. Look at the behind that. Look at 11. 11's one half.
Mm-hmm.
And
Campfire Cricket is 13.
yep. So you have a lot of the top ones there.
Just Before the End of the World is 18.
So a lot of them are there. I think that's going to be interesting. A lot of them are still be there. It's just in different spots because how people watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, we'll see where the charts end up. We're at week 9. We're technically in week 11 of all shows. We still have 3 charts left at this point because we'll get 10 next week, 11 and 12. I want to see 10, 11, 12, see what they're really going to change. Um, I think the movement's going to still be at the top for the most part. And you might see things jump in both over time, but nothing crazy. Um, we'll see how things go. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let's get into 165 of My Hero. Where we left off on the and Shigaraki and uh, Deku fight, which is interesting because it's not fully over yet. Based on the last episode, it was kind of like getting to that climax finish. Uh, and it's funny. I feel like Chris, I'm gonna ask you this. I remember watching 165. I do remember watching 165, but it felt like they kind of rushed through the. They kind
No,
of rushed.
because I mean, okay, bro, you got to remember, and I'm trying to say this without giving away two spoilers, but this is the first time where we had more than one major hero take out more than one major villain almost
Right.
simultaneously.
Correct.
So I understand the difference. I understand the difference.
Okay. All right. So we'll watch 165, and then we'll go into 166 as well. We'll just kind of let them roll through as a way to do them. Um, And we'll kind of see where the story goes. I do watch Windows 65, and then 66. I didn't. I think I did start, or I kind of started, and I kind of got through part of it. But yeah, we'll see where these episodes go. So in a second, I will say uh,
3, 2,
three, 1, and then we'll get going. It's funny. We've been talking a lot tonight. And it's funny because there's uh, so much like just entertainment news and just other news, and then anime news is slowing down. So it's kind of just like a weird dichotomy. Um,
because we ready for the win. We're ready for the winter season.
yeah. Um, this, I think this is going to be the episode where I think people are going to love it because this episode really kind of ties in a lot of story together and gives you a lot of that hope. And then the next episode kind of builds on that. Chris, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Wrench it open, Izuku Midoriya.
Yep. I'm not gonna be a dead horse in the ground again, but it's always kind of just still funny to me that there's no strong songs this season.
I'll be interested to see what we get next year.
Yeah, next season, like winter season, will be interesting. You have so much big stuff coming out, and there's gonna be some banger opening endings. The only one I actually appreciate, I think it's weird to say, Let's Play. Let's Play opening is just kind of because the visuals behind it is so cool. Um, but it's because they do that in a fun way.
They do it in a fun way. But I mean, it's the last season, so they do kind of have to go ham.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm gonna really enjoy?
Hmm.
Being able to go back and watch this from start to finish.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing about this one that needs to go.
Because this
I
has been an amazing story, like for real.
Yes, it has. I know people don't like the first bits of it, like the first season and the second season. They kind of get kind of divisive because they go in school, then they come out of school, they go back in school,
But
like that
now,
whole
but
situation.
but at least you get to see why. You see the evolution of the show.
Yeah. By the way, did they explain why he went like? Did they explain why Deku kind of went not Super Saiyan? I rushed this, but I don't remember. Did they ever say why he went the way he goes right then and there?
Yep. Because remember, he can't use 100% one for all, so he uses other quirks to enhance his strength and body to to
Okay,
take the take the blows.
to take the effect.
You have to remember at this point in time, Midori is stronger than Alpha One, or yeah,
Yeah.
he's stronger than All Might
Yeah.
because All Might was never able to use any of the other quirks.
Nope, he wasn't. He just, I think he can only technically use. I do know that the fact they do forget that Deku does have a good amount of brains on him, so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, his battle instinct is unparalleled.
Yeah,
Simply because of how he studies his opponents.
correct.
Which is again something you see throughout the series every time he takes notes on people.
I would say the way they animated all the hands on him was insane.
Man, the fact that his hands come around him like extra body armor is even insaner.
Yeah, they did that whole like so. How this is the one thing they don't explain very well. Though, how do you explain the fact he can see Shiraki's memories, but he also see his own, and they're kind of intermixing with each other without
They're
like
explaining that
this
right
one.
now.
Okay, the sports. Yep, yep, yep.
Because it's the essence of All for One that allows them to see both memories like that.
Mm. I will say that was a good. That wasn't when I read it the first time. I was like, okay, that makes sense, kind of, but also kind of gave us the thing of like we know Deku's gotten super strong, really strong with his powers and know how to use them. So this fight wasn't really. This fight was kind of one sided at this point.
It really was.
And the only thing that I think was funny is people were like, they were kind of like, wait, so is Deku? I think
You
in
know
the
what
last
though?
episode they were talking about does Deku try to save him or does he just end up destroying him?
Okay, but I'm not going to ruin it. But if the ending didn't happen the way that it happened, then you would understand why It couldn't stay. He couldn't stay that strong. Oh yeah, now I remember something that was really cool about these episodes.
I love how the music just turned like zombie fied in for a second there. I'm like, I, has that creepy tone to it.
It does kind of remind you of zombies.
Hmm. I do love the fact. Now, I will say this. I do love the fact for this. Everybody who has talked to Deku, and they do the whole thing. They show that when he was gonna leave the school, and what's her name? I think it's Sparky, the girl that likes him,
Yeah,
basically stood up for him.
every
I'm
time.
like, every time she stood up for him, and it's funny. Then they, I'm not gonna spoil this next part because the next part's really fun how they do it. You just kind of see people from the past, kind of like, oh,
Don't ruin
I
it.
said,
Don't ruin it.
yeah, no, I won't. It's actually really fun. By the way, this is kind of interesting because Electro Dude look like he's just dead. He's just done. Like he can barely move.
Remember, he just dumb. Like, remember, every time he uses his power, he uses brain power.
Brain power, so he just kind of goes. He just goes. He just kind of goes dumb for a second. It's kind of funny.
Nay,
But
nay,
she's
nay,
carrying him, which is like she's
nay,
like
nay,
carrying him with
Shaggy,
shoulders. So I'm like, okay, he's not even standing. He can't even walk. Like,
nay, nay, Shaggy.
but this starts that
But,
chain reaction.
but wait a
I
minute
love
though.
that.
His question was so deep though.
What do you? Oh, when he asked about,
He that was a deep question. He's like, is he scared because he doesn't have faith in his friend?
yep,
That was a deep question.
yep, and that's what starts this chain reaction. So like he asked that question, and you see all they see everybody what's happening so far. Well, because he cared about. He didn't he care about her. That was why.
It's the fact that Deku has touched everybody and like it really made them rethink their whole life.
Correct.
This is why this Shigaraki is Deku's real villain.
Yeah, but even more so if you think about it. Think about the fact he's touched villains and heroes. And that's even
Yep.
more apparent when you think about topping the girl that uses other people's blood to get their powers
But
and how
no,
that.
but she only liked Deku, but her real enemy was Iravides.
Yep, it was.
Because they both felt the same way about people.
Yep, it did.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun rewatching this from the ground up.
Oh yeah, I'm also having a lot of fun watching the English. Because this episode's not in English yet, is it? No, it's not. Most of these
Yes,
episodes are in English yet.
I'm watching it in English.
Oh, you are. I must have left it in Japanese. Oh, I did see it subbed up. Okay, I might. The one thing I will
Hmm.
do, I will go back to watch the whole series in English. Except this one,
Remind me to
I
tell you
didn't watch
something
the.
after the podcast.
Huh?
Remind me to tell you something after the podcast.
Okay. This scene right here is so weird. The funny part, if they're in his mind, is this are they are they this a construct of his mind, or is it actually can things that happen to Deku within his mind?
It's because Deku almost got hit by that bus. Things in Shigaraki's mind affect Deku personally
Okay,
because it's like Deku's actually there,
that's that's so interesting how they did that.
kind of like Inception.
Yes, yeah, yeah, like Inception. I never seen what's his name. We haven't seen him in a while, or the mention of him.
Mm.
See, this was a heartbreaking thing because we didn't find this out till like
It was maybe like 2 or 3 seasons ago, or something like that.
yeah, we had found that out, but ultimately,
But that was
yeah, that was
something we weren't
we
prepared for.
nope because that we didn't know about from the prior.
Mm. Because that's something that millions of people go through around the world every day.
I'm probably gonna stream right there because we've talked about a lot. We can get through this episode and talk about it. This episode is very strong, only because they really kind of go into the thing of like going into his mind fully now. His mind, what his mind's thinking, and why he's thinking the way Shigaraka's thinking is. And ultimately, the big reveal in this episode is the fact
Brandon, I think we lost your audio. I can't hear you.
can you hear me now?
Yep.
It just flipped for a second and defaulted. Um, like this episode really kind of combined a lot of things that we've seen beforehand. So like we know about somewhat of his past. We don't know. We knew about the his grandmother being the superhero that trained all for one or All Might. Also, the fact that we have some other smaller details, and then just like the whole backstory of what we've seen from season one, like the tournament, the fact we thought what's his name's dad, son's the son, the fact we know about the Evil League. Chris, what's your biggest takeaway from this episode?
First, are we stopping here? Or are we not continuing?
We're gonna stop here. We're gonna stop here.
Okay. Bro, the fact is, this episode, throughout the bulk of the episode, shows you Midoriya's determination. And like in the end, at this point, we already know that he is literally sacrificing his powers of All for One, to in order to defeat his enemy.
Yep.
So, so he is literally giving up the one thing that he held dear to him. It's like, bro, he is sacrificing. Like this is a whole different level of hero sacrifice. Like to start without a quirk, to get the world's greatest quirk, learn how to torture yourself learning and how to use it, and then finally having to let it go once you've achieved it all. Bro, that is truly the ending of My Hero Academia. Like this is why I said I cannot wait to rewatch this from beginning to end because this is a beautiful story. It really is.
Very much so. Very much so.
So yeah, this episode I do like it. It was very good.
On that note, what would you give this episode for a rating?
9.1.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I will tend to agree. I will say it's going to be right at a 9. I agree with that. 9.1. Like you said, it ties in a lot of stuff together. It's emotional. It hits home. And like I say, I remember I did watch next episode because next episode really kind of kicks into people knowing he needs help. But when we see the guy in the bunker, that kind of kicks you to the gear like, oh, like you said, Deku has touched so many people's lives through good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't done it in what he's done it with him doing himself. He hasn't done it out of malice. He's just done it because he wants to do it. He wants to see the good in people. I think what we're seeing in the next couple episodes, like the last couple episodes of the series, is kind of just that people caring, wanting to see him do well. Even the little girl that has the horn wants to help him. That kind of tells you because they helped her.
Which is my favorite part.
Yes, sir. Um, one of the best parts of the series. One of the best parts of the series. But ultimately, we'll see where this series goes. I think the bigger thing will be with the last couple episodes is how do you tie everything together? How do you make it more cohesive? But also, how's that ending going to be? Is it going to be more a happy ending or more of an ending of relief kind of thing? Yeah, this episode I think deserves the praise it deserves. And like you said, I can't wait to watch the series back from the beginning. It's one of those series you can watch from the beginning and you'll enjoy it for the most parts of it.
Exactly.
Next week we're gonna get back into the assassin. Uh, my my abilities as assassin. I've seen the hero. Well, there's those 2 episodes there. We're gonna finish up. We probably won't have much more news anytime soon because Netflix has been the biggest thing last week. I think they're gonna kind of slow off and we can really get through episodes and things. Next week's episode will be on Monday, just because of things that are going on after that on Tuesday. So we'll do it on Monday night next week. But so look forward to that. But tell us what you think about the comments on the things we talked about, the show, the news stories went through with Crunchyroll and High Dive, and Netflix stuff. But keep on this journey with us. We're getting through the end of the fall season. We're about to head in the winter. The winter's going to be kind of hyped, seem like. So we have a lot of things to look forward to. But I do thank Chris for joining. I do thank you for watching. This will go up on Spotify when it processes it. It'll be up on YouTube on Thursday. But thank you for joining me. Hope you did enjoy. Hope you next time. See you.
Deuce.